Welcome. This is topic 3, uses of various sources of energy during the Industrial Revolution in Europe. Then in this topic, we learn on various sources of energy used during Industrial Revolution in Europe. Then by the end of this topic, we should be able to name various sources of energy used in Europe and explain the different sources of energy. By understanding this, you'll be able to answer most of the questions of this topic. Then we begin with the coal. It is a black or dark brown carbonaceous rock with fuel and source of coke, coal gas, and coal tar. Amram Dabri invented the process by which coal was turned into coke in the year 1709. Thus discovered that coal produced immense heat. Coke was used to smelt iron. The uses of coal. It was used to heat water to high temperatures so as to produce steam. It was also used to produce lighting, to drive steam engines in factories, to drive locomotives. It is a raw material in manufacturing of dye and pharmaceutical products. Then disadvantages, it is bulky and transporting it is difficult. It produces too much smoke when used in locomotives. Coal was expensive to mine and transport to the required destination. Coal was risky to miners who often lost their lives when mines collapsed and buried them. We look at the second one, is the petroleum. It was invented by Gottlieb Daimler. It is used to power vehicles, generate electricity, to run engines in industries. The bitumen and tar are used to tarmac the roads. Then it is also used for greasing metals. This is to prevent the tear and wear. Then disadvantages, it is expensive to transport. Prospecting for oil is quite expensive. It is expensive to transport and import. Countries which import oil are generally 90% poor. Oil may also affect the environment. It can cause air, water pollution, and even death of marine lives, which can cause death of marine lives. Look at the third one, the steam. The steam is a boiling water which turned into a gas. It was used for the first time in 100 AD in a steam-powered engine by a Greek scientist called Hero. In the 16th century, Thomas Savery, a Breton, built a steam engine that could pump water out of coal mines. Then Thomas Newcomb improved Savery's design though the design was still ineffective. In 1764, James Watt improved the Newcomb's engine to make it more effective by 1800. In 1801, Richard Trevithick installed one of Watt's engine in a road vehicle. 3 years later, he produced a steam-driven locomotive that ran on rails. In 1830, George Stephenson improved the Trevithick work and invented the first locomotive rocket. Uses of steam. It was used to drive heavy machinery in factories and stand the turbines that generated power for industrial use. It was used for pumping water in coal mines. It was used in steam-powered locomotives. Then it was also used to open massive doors of the temple for the Egyptian. We look at the third one. This is the electricity. So the fourth one, electricity. It was invented by Michael Faraday in the year 1791 to the year 1861. In the 1831, invented electric dynamo. This principle of electromagnetic induction was the beginning of both dynamo and electric motor. The energy used is energy from coal, oil, steam, or water to produce electricity. The use of electricity became widespread in the 1900s. Electricity is used to provide lighting. It is also used for cooking, for communication, powering machines and factories, powering transport. There are vehicles which use electricity for transport. They do not use oil or solar. Then disadvantages: it is dangerous if not properly installed. It may cause fire. Then the generation and distribution of electricity is very expensive, thus making use limited to fewer people in developing countries. We look at the other one, atomic energy. In the year 1896, a French scientist, Antoine Henri Becquerel, he discovered uranium produced radiation and energy in waves. That's the radioactivity. This was the birth of the development of the atomic energy. Ernst and Strass discovered the process of atomic fusion, which leads to the production of energy. In the year 1942, a group of scientists led by the Enrico at the University of Chicago in USA built the first nuclear research station, which resulted to invention of the nuclear reactor. And later they discovered the atomic bomb that was used in the Hiroshima and Nagasaki in the 1945 during the Second World War. However, the atomic energy, when used in war, can be very fatal. Then polluted air, when radioactivity has taken place, it can cause fever, diarrhea, and even death. For example, the radioactivity evident in the year 1985 at 3 Mile Island in USA and Kremlin near Kyiv in Ukraine in the year 1816 had fatal consequences. We look at the solar energy. It is obtained directly from the sun to dry wood, clothes, and to cook. In 1741, Anthony Lavoisier made a solar furnace that could melt metals. So uses of solar energy for drying agricultural products, that is crops. Most of the crops are dried using the sun. Distilling of salty water into a salty crystal. Heating water in homes and industries. Heating and lighting buildings. Cooking and using solar cookers. Then irrigating using solar water pumps. Powering satellites in space. Then advantages: it is clean and available in places where sunlight is readily available. It is a natural, therefore it's free. But disadvantages: sun is not always at all time. It is only during the day. We look at the last one, the iron and steel. Iron was not really source of energy, but the Industrial Revolution was dependent on the availability of iron. Then the uses of iron is used in production of machines for the textile industry, production of steam engines, building of trains, rails, and railway lines. Then the uses of steel, the construction of rail lines, bridges, and cars and ships. It is also used in mechanical machinery, especially in agricultural and industrial sector. Then it is used to reinforcement of concrete in building and roofing houses, then making containers and utensils. That's the end of our today's class. Ensure you read more notes for more knowledge. Thank you.